I was thinking about this topic for a long time. In my hometown, we had a 4-year-old girl who got a hold of a firearm and shot herself, and this is public record. It's being investigated by our department because they believe the gun was unloaded. Now, a lot of people are not smart, and they leave guns around the house where their kids can access them. Most people are smart, some people are not. And it got me thinking about, because I have 2 nieces that babysat when they were teenagers. One's 17, one's 21. And I have there are a lot of young people, girls, teenage girls, even single, and even some parents who will babysit for different kids, either their neighbors, their friends, whoever. And they may be in a house one day where there is a gun in a drawer that's 2 feet off the ground, or a gun under the bed, and they have a child running around. The parents are going to be out of town for 4 hours or overnight even, and they don't know how to make that gun safe. Now, in most states, there's a certain law for handling a gun. And where I live, you have to be 16 years old to handle a gun by yourself, without supervision. But the laws of common sense dictate you are never to handle a gun, regardless of your age, unless you know what you're doing. So in this situation, you may have a teenage boy or girl, girls mostly babysit, and they may have never touched a gun in their lives, and all of a sudden they have a little kid running around, and they have a gun, and there's no instructor around, there's no police officer around, and they have to make the gun safe. Now, one thing I'll say, if you can close the door off completely, don't touch the guns at all. The guns are in, let's say, the bedroom, and the bedroom has a lock. You know how you're on the inside of the room and there's a toggle switch, and you're on the outside of the room, there's a keyhole? You might have a father that is smart and has the gun up on a shelf 6 feet off the floor with the gun pushed all the way in the back, and you can't even get it if you want it, and the kid is deathly afraid to go in the bedroom at all. Leave the gun where it is, but if you want to close the door off, you should. Now, if the gun is under the bed, in the drawer, or if it's a rifle or shotgun hanging up in the corner, or if there's a mattress, they have actually gun racks on the mattress now with a long gun on there, I will tell you right now, the gun is loaded. Now, you're always supposed to treat the gun as if it is loaded, but if it's in the bedroom, in one of those positions, nightstand drawer, under the bed, I'll tell you right now, it is loaded, guaranteed. Now, if you have a house you babysit at, you must have all the keys to all the rooms, because what if the kids go in the bathroom, close the door, lock it, and start playing around in the water? You got to get to them. So you have to have access to all the keys. Now, if the bedroom has a door, close the lock, lock the door, and put the key on your necklace, in your wallet, in your sock, even in the car, if you have a car. But put the key where the kid cannot get to it. Now, if this door is not closed, I have a pull-up bar on the other side of it, and there's no lock anyway. Now, if there's a piece of furniture, you can slide the piece of furniture in front of the door. If there is no piece of furniture, you can get creative. Chairs, bookshelves, vacuums, golf clubs. You can really get creative and barricade the door. If the door swings the other way, this door swings out, the door swings in, you can close it and still put a barricade. Now, obviously, if you have a hallway and the door is here, you want to be able to make sure that, God forbid, there's a fire you can run past, but you can still put a great deal of stuff in between to barricade the door. Is that 100% safe? Not really, but the more stuff you put in front of the door, A, the harder it is for the child to move it out of the way, B, the more noise they're going to make, and C, you're going to have more than enough time to get to them and stop them. So just close the door and lock it. Now, What if you can't barricade the door? What if you can't close the door? What if there is no door? For instance, the gun might be under the couch in the living room or in a drawer in the dining room. Do not take anything for granted. Some people are dumbasses and they'll just put guns anywhere. Now, if their kid is 15 and knows better, different story. But if their kid is 4 or 5, you have a problem. Now, you can pick the gun up and transport it to another room and close that door, lock that door, barricade that door, like I just told you. The bathrooms. If there's 2 bathrooms, take one bathroom to pee in and take the other bathroom to put the guns in and close the door and barricade it. This means you have to move the gun. Now, like I said before, if you can, barricade the door and be done with it. But if there is no choice, you have to touch the gun, then you have to touch it. Now, what I'm going to go over is the safety lecture. I'm going to touch the guns, unload them in front of you. This is a Glock. You've seen every cop in the world carry it. 99% of handguns, the button for the mag release is here. And you can see the magazine there. There is no one around me at all. There's no one home. There's no windows. The room is safe. Hit the button, the magazine drops out. Or let it hit the floor. The gun is empty. No. This is harder for my right hand, left hand. My right hand, so I'll do my left. Touch this. Hear that? There's always a round in the chamber. Because A, the magazine is fully loaded. Having a round in the chamber means 1 extra round for self-defense. And B, if you're attacked, you don't have time to chamber the round. Now this is heavy. This slide is on a spring and it is very heavy. And some young people, some people with small fingers can't manipulate it. And it will not close. Empty magazine, it will close. But with an empty magazine, it won't close. This toggle switch hits in here, like that. Watch. Eject empty magazine. It's a little greasy here. I'm gonna try to do it. Okay. Do you see how fucking hurts me? Okay. My hands are greasy. This is hard. You can tell because when a round is in the chamber, you will visibly see it in the chamber. Watch. Stupid thing. You can look down there and see, it's hard for me to show you on camera, but you can look down and see the brass. Sorry, hard to show you on camera. Wash my hands off for a second. Excuse me. Now the Glock has no safety. The trigger on it is so tight that it's virtually impossible for it to go off by accident. But there is no safety switch. This is a 1911. You know this because your great-grandfather carried this in World War II. This is an enhanced model with serrations here, extra magazine, 3-dot trigger. But if you give this to your great-grandfather, if he's still alive, he'll know how to use it. This is a 10-round magazine. Hit the button, comes out. It also comes with a 7-round magazine, which is flush. Hit the button, it comes out. And these magazines are all greasy. Now, this safety is always here, but some 1911s have a left-handed safety too, for guys like me. When you drive a car with an instructor, there's a bar on your brake that goes across to the instructor's side, and he has a brake. There's a bar that links these. When you do this, both come undone. Some safeties will be up here, some down here. It's a different story. In order for me to open this slide, I have to take the safety off. That is the round in the chamber. See, this is tight. You're going to have a hard time doing this if you don't know what you're doing. Hold open. This gun will not fire unless the hammer is back. But most guns will fire with the hammer forward. You can tell in 1911 because of this thing here. This gun will only fire if this is pressed in, this is taken off, this is back, and I pull the trigger. If the gun is like this, it will not fire. I can pull the trigger all day long, it will not fire because the safety is locked and this is not being pressed. This is the revolver. If your revolver has an S and W, you push the button like this. If your revolver has a horse, you pull back like this. If your revolver has a phoenix, you just push in like that. I push forward and I tilt that. I can either hit this rod and have the ammunition come out, or I can tilt it and the ammunition comes out. This is a special gun. It shoots the same ammunition as the 1911 and cowboy ammunition and 410 shotgun shells. The 45 ACP has to be on this ring called the moon clip. The other ammunition is just loose. And 99% of the revolvers you find, ammunition will be loose. There are 6 holes, there are 6 rounds of ammunition. Do not drop the ammunition, have it scattered on the floor loose, and think you got it, because you might have 1 round under the couch and the dog might eat it. Make sure the number of ammunition you have matches the number of holes you have. Now, you'll notice I haven't touched the triggers yet, but I'm going to touch the trigger now for a reason. First and foremost, I know what I'm doing. Second, I've checked it, it's unloaded. The hammer is back, the trigger is back. No one is around. That took 12 pounds of force being pushed back. Now watch. That's 3 pounds. The trigger is reduced by 75% when you do this. This is if you're at the range and you want to make a very accurate shot. You pull the hammer back and the trigger is back and you just tap it. Now, this is done at the range only. Watch. This cylinder will not open with the hammer back. So with the hammer back, the cylinder, the trigger loses 75% of its strength and the gun cannot be unloaded. This is a bomb if it's loaded. That's the only reason why I show you that. Obviously, I unloaded it, I know what I'm doing. This is the rifle. This is an M1 carbine. It's a replica of the rifle my grandfather used in World War II. Some M1 carbines have a button you push for the safety. Some you just push one way or pull one way. There are different buttons for M1 carbine safety. There are thousands of different rifles and shotguns. And unlike the revolvers and the semi-autos where you can figure it out, rifles and shotguns can't figure out. There are dozens of different examples of safety here, no safety there, button here, switch there, lever here. There are so many different models. This particular model, the safety is the big button here. No, I'm sorry. The safety is the little button here. The magazine release is the big button here. I push the magazine release and the magazine comes out. Rifle's empty. See this lever here? See that? The round was in here. You never do this next to an open window. You never do this with a child in the room. And you watch the pets, the cats, the dogs, the ferrets. Even though this looks puny, this is more powerful than a Magnum revolver. This bullet will penetrate a gallon jug of water, 400 magazine pages, a 6-inch block of wood, and 6 pieces of frozen jean. Now, you will not be doing anything that I just did. I did that just for the demonstration purpose. You will not be doing that. My rifle is always kept unloaded, but the handguns are kept loaded. That I'll tell you right now. Full disclosure on that one. First and foremost, if the gun must be touched, the kid has to be out of the room. Put them in another room and put on Barney, lock him in a closet. But one way or another, if you must touch the gun, the kid must not be in the room, period. I don't care what you gotta do to distract them, get them out of the room, period. I myself am having a problem over here. Okay. See, even I had a problem. The round wasn't backed in all the way. And because the round wasn't backed in all the way, the magazine wouldn't go in. Okay. See? Even I have an issue. See, full disclosure. I didn't push the round back all the way. And as a result of that, the magazine wouldn't go in. Okay? Right now I am fully loading these magazines, fully loading these guns. Because for demonstration purposes, this is exactly what it will look like if you're ever involved in the situation. So everything here is going to be loaded for now. This gun, you hold like this. If I jump out a window right now, this gun is not going to go off. Because the trigger is not being touched. You hold it like this. In your dominant hand, I'm left-handed, tight. When you put it down, you look at your feet, and you make sure the muzzle doesn't go by your foot, or by a cat, or by anything. This gun, I hold like this, because without this being pressed, the gun will not go off. I hold it like this. Once again, if I jump out a window, it's not going off. This gun, hold it like this. Finger is away from the trigger, finger is away from the hammer. This gun is not going off. This gun, I hold it like this in the middle. Fingers away from the trigger, fingers away from the toggle switches, the safeties, everything. Just keep my finger off the trigger. And if you'll see, this is my bathroom, rifle, handguns. I would close the door and I would lock it. See that little hole? That's the lock. I would have the key. Now, this is if you have two bathrooms. One bathroom is for the guns. The other bathroom is for, you know what I mean? Okay. Now, let's assume you have no rooms with locks. You can't barricade anything. You have no idea what to do. This is a last resort, an absolute last resort. Find a cabinet that is over 6 feet high. I'm 5'9". This is about 7 feet here, at least. Take the gun in your hand, hold it, point it down, get the ladder, the step stool, whatever you have. Okay? Gun is down. I go up, and I put the gun in the back. And I put it on the tallest cabinet in the back. It's not near the center, it's not near the edge, it's in the back, centered. There's no edge, you can't see it from coming. If you were to walk in this room, you will not see where the gun was. I had it up there. I took it down now, obviously. The ladders, the chairs, the step stools, all leave the room. Do not put it where the refrigerator is, because when I was 2 years old, I climbed up, I climbed up, I climbed up. No refrigerator. Put it as far away from the refrigerator as possible. Make sure no chairs, make sure no desks, make sure the kid can't reach it. So, in this order, number 1, lock the room, barricade the room, don't touch the gun. Number 2, touch the gun like I showed you, move it into another room, barricade, lock, whatever. Number 3, no alternative. There is no lock, there is no barricade, you have no choice. To the top of the highest cabinet you can find. The kid is not in the room when this is done. The kid is not in the room the entire rest of the night. Do not touch your damn cell phone. Okay, I've saved people from being paralyzed because they were paying attention to a cell phone walking across the street. No cell phone, no iPad, no device, no nothing. Okay? The cell phone is down, period. Do not touch it. You must have the gun in your dominant hand. You must have your finger away from the trigger. You must have the front of the gun away from feet, arms, legs, heads, body parts, animals, windows, doorways. And you must pay absolute attention. I don't give a shit what else is going on. I don't care that Pauline's dad slept with Jim's mom. Okay? I don't care that Mrs. Smith is sleeping with the captain of the football team. Okay? I don't care who died last night. Okay, now, when the parents come home, what do? We tell them the truth. If they fire you, so what? If they call every single parent in the neighborhood and say don't hire you, so what? It is so much better that the parents fire your ass and tell everyone in the neighborhood not to hire you than it is to have an accidental discharge, have a kid get hurt or killed, and have a police investigation come in. And you know what? Tell the parents that there are fingerprint safes. You close the safe, put the gun in it, the gun will only activate with a fingerprint. That's it. They have to have a live fingerprint so the kid cannot access it. There's actually a rifle and shotgun fingerprint thing now coming out. You put the rifle or shotgun in a device on the wall, it's locked in, and only the fingerprint will unlock it. I have a video series I did a couple of years ago where I teach people how to keep guns away from kids during visits. Show them that. Show them this video. Tell them to take a safety class, because if an adult is putting a loaded gun under a couch with a 4-year-old kid in the house, that adult needs a safety class. Like I said, last resorts only. If there's any questions, please ask. And that's it.